You know, these people are really something. I guess you're wondering why I'm chuckling. Because I just finished responding to this lady. I'm gonna give her that. I'm gonna call her a lady. But what I'm saying is, I had this woman. Oh, hold on. Hey Siri, call radio show. Calling radio show. This shit. So it is working. Call in, goddamn it, so you can express yourself. Because I mean, I was responding to this lady. You know, she asked me how could I sleep at night, or how do I sleep at night, and she was saying since I offer the kind of information to young men that I offer, I shouldn't be able to sleep. And I asked her what was she actually talking about. And she said she's listened to like the last 5 or 6 videos, and they all have the same message. Fuck women. That is not my message. My message is not fuck women. My message is change your approach to dealing with women. Fuck all that other shit that you have been trained to go through. So my point is I'm telling them this so that they can feel comfortable treating a woman the way she deserves to be treated, and not like fucking it said you treat bitches. The thing about me, yeah, I was a pimp nigga, but I didn't do none of the shit you motherfuckers think pimps do to catch women and get them to do shit. I was straight up with them. And if they wanted to do it, cool. Come fuck with me. But if you don't want to do it, I ain't finna try to talk you into it. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to do it. Some other bitch do. That's how I thought. So my point is, saying this to you is that, my message is my message is not saying fuck women. Please understand that. So I also told her, you don't know what a pleasure it is to fall asleep at night, savoring the thrills of chasing success. You see, most nights I fall asleep, planning for success as far as, you know, the thrill of chasing it. I go to sleep thinking about the shit. And thinking about it so that I can create a path for me to reach it tomorrow. But lately, you need to understand what I'm finna say. Lately, I've been realizing, that I go to bed accepting that I'm already on my path for tomorrow. Do you know how big that is? If you don't, you need to realize how big it is. It makes a major difference in how you fall asleep at night. If you don't want to fall asleep, you know, unconsciously, but consciously dealing, with shit. If you don't want to fall asleep like that, you got to realize, and you should take my advice on this. Whatever your goals are, make sure they are lofty, meaning big enough that when you reach them, they're going to make you feel 40 feet tall. Now, you got to realize how important that statement is. If you're going to make some sort of decision that's going to make you feel 6 feet tall, it might be taller than you are. But is that really tall? No. So you want something make you feel 40 feet tall. And believe me, it's not something that you got to think of that no one else has thought of. It's something that you think of that you got to do. You got to accomplish it using the tools or the skills that you've gotten from thinking, from whatever the fuck you think you've gotten from game. Since you think you got some, you got to fucking do it like that. I'm sure my motherfucking phones are working. So why the fuck aren't any of you calling? Because I think I know why. Because you're afraid. You're afraid to expose whatever it is you think. Let me tell you something, bro. That's one of the biggest reasons why you can't achieve what you're trying to achieve. You're afraid to expose what you know or don't know. It doesn't matter to me because I know. And I choose to be the way I am. I'm not the most social motherfucker right now. And I ain't got no gang of goddamn bitches calling me. But if one called, I sure know how to talk to her. And I wouldn't be afraid to, make whatever move I thought was necessary to have her. Whether or not it worked, it wouldn't, demote me. Shit. It would just show me who the fuck I'm talking to. I'm saying you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot force that motherfucker to drink. The only way that motherfucker's gonna drink is if it's thirsty. And what I'm saying is the only way some motherfucker gonna fuck with me is if I'm thirsty. If I'm thirsty enough to show her, she want to let me have a drink. I'm eliminating all past sales. Because sales information from the past, meaning you relying on those motherfuckers for your future. I'm not relying on them. I'm not saying fuck them either. But what I'm saying is that, in my opinion, if you buy my shit, I don't need to keep fucking with you. Because you're going to learn how to fuck with yourself. And you're going to learn how to keep yourself sharp as fuck. And if that's the case, excuse me. If that's the case, I need new motherfuckers all the time. I don't need motherfuckers that already bought my shit. And it's not for any reason other than the fact I'm 100% confident that if you bought my shit and you went through my program so you can learn what my shit is really saying, you gonna be all right. This is, and the thing about it, just like you have my number, some motherfucker that have my number that didn't, that bought my shit, that didn't get what they thought they should get, they have my fucking number too. Oh wait, you know what? No one does have my number because my back. Oh shit! Wait, I'm on the wrong computer. My banner is not going through. Okay, I'm glad I saw that because I want you to know whoever wants to talk to me can. It ain't got nothing to do, with me not giving you my information. 702-833-9987. That's my number. 702-833-9987. Now, if you want to call in, do. If you don't, you don't have to. Because I'm going to keep rolling with or without you calling in. But, let's see. K or something. K underscore or underscore something. Yo, what's the story of those things happening on the wall? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, those are diplomas. Except that gold one. That gold one in the middle, the round one, is from 1963. When I fucking caller, what's up? Arthur, what's going on, man? Go ahead. Wait. You talking to me as a student and you giving away shit you paid for. So you got to bring this up, on the Zoom meet, so that it be part of what you learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't ask this shit. I'm saying, do you want everybody to get what you paying for? Well, you got to think about that stuff, when you actually, come in, get involved with a live show like this. Just think about it. I think about it the whole time I'm talking because I'm not, it sounds like I am, but I'm really not giving away nothing you guys are learning. Yeah, but if that's the case, ain't nobody going to get it but those that should. And if somebody pick up from what you're saying, different aspects of you, your sureness, your directness, your confidence, if they pick that up, then that's because, they've been searching for it and they looking for that kind of shit. But you still ain't told them nothing. You ain't told them how to do it. You haven't told them what you went through, with me, going through this or that change, thinking about what you think being punk shit, if it is punk shit. You have to accept that. And you've accepted, you personally have accepted everything, but you just got to understand where you really are mentally. You are ahead of the pack. So you really don't want to share what the fuck you know with everybody. You got to be really picky with who you share this shit with. Because all they're going to do is take what you say and water it down to where they can accept it. And then they're going to misrepresent what the fuck you think. And if you allow it, you might even let that fuck with you, seeing how they doing whatever they doing. They're doing what they're doing because they're not controlling what they're doing. You're controlling what you can. Do you really actually see that, Arthur? That you're really starting to control what you do. Listen to me, listen, Arthur. How the fuck would she have known that if you didn't say it? So don't think about it no more. Fuck it. You already said it. It was the right thing to say because she would not have known this shit if you wouldn't have had the nuts to tell her. This is why she likes you, because you are not kissing her ass to be you. You being you regardless, and you're making her accept you for you. If there's some flaws there, she's accepting all that. You can't, yeah, but what I'm saying is you trying to make sure there are no flaws. You have flaws, and that's you. So come on with it. I got my flaws, bitch know that right away, not right away, but she'll discover it very quickly after fucking with me that I got my flaws. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about shit, except if this is something concerning you. Of course, we can talk about it. But your opinion about what I'm doing or what I did or something I said or how I act when we at dinner, out or whatever, all that kind of shit don't matter to me. Fuck you. I'm going to be the way I be. Why? Because I don't need nobody for shit. That's hey, that's go ahead. Arthur, listen. You're doing more than getting it out. You're living it. You got to accept what you're doing. You living what you believe. That's why you getting what you wanted. And what you wanted was to always be the captain of your ship. You you wanted to say if it's time to turn left, let's go left. Whatever word you starboard or whatever. I'm saying the whole thing is about you accepting who the fuck you are for what the fuck you think. And you're doing that. Think about it. What you think on that? Do you remember me telling you how you're gonna start being able to predict what's gonna happen or what you're gonna do? Do you remember me telling you about that? Yeah. You're starting to do it. You just don't realize it. You saying you're starting to see shit, meaning it hasn't actually happened, but you're seeing it and you're going for it as if you know it to be something real to go after, which is it is because that's what you're thinking. You are really starting to see it, Arthur. I mean, you making me really proud right now because what you're saying you don't realize, but what you're saying is you have totally learned to accept who you are for what you are. No pretenses, no bullshit, no hopes. I ain't finna, trip about pussy. You know what I'm saying? I trip about me. And that's what it's about, bro. And let me tell you something, Arthur. Arthur, you just explained what I mean when I say I be telling people about every goddamn thing for free, but they're not understanding it. And what I don't say is what you just said. It is very layered. And unless you understand where I'm coming from when I say what I say, you can hear what I say in some days, and it might be meaning something totally different, because it's about the moment, it's about what you think, it's about believing in what you think. And Arthur, to me, you have exceeded 100% of that as far as being into what you think. What do you think? Hey, listen, remember this. Don't do that. Don't confess to them the knowledge you got from doing what the fuck you doing. Get that, get that knowledge. What? Go ahead. What? Hey, listen, just by saying I would have never have said that in the past, you're confessing it to her. So my point is don't do that. Don't feel the need to do that. Although you do want that understood. So then you got to say or make statements that expresses that. That's not confessing that. You know what I mean? Do you? You got to. Otherwise, what I'm saying is, uh, you can say, shit. I don't know what it is, but I have some sort of. I feel like some kind of weight been lifted off me since I think it's since I told you that. Now, what I'm saying, you didn't say confessing that to you. This is the first time. But what you said should have the same impact. Do you see what I'm saying now? So my point is this is how far ahead you got to be thinking when you talking. If you're not thinking like this, You're not ready for that sharp left you finna have to make. Thinking like this, if you remember the example that I gave you of the tennis player being on their toes, they don't stand flat footed. No athlete in any sport stands flat footed. Do you agree with that? Why do you think they don't? Well, flat footed, you limit yourself. You, you're like handicapped. So every sport, you have to be on the balls of your feet. Why? Because while you on the balls of your feet, you ready to go in any direction. That's why the tennis player don't know where that fucking tennis ball coming, but they do know it's coming at 100 miles an hour, so they don't have a whole bunch of time to find it. So they're ready for it, and they eliminate looking for it by being ready for it. That's what we do when we have all these doggone things that she could say in response. We're like bouncing on our toes. And whatever she does say, it doesn't have to be one of the things we thought she would say, but long as it's somewhere in that goddamn area. Otherwise, they don't know where that serve is coming. But long as it lands in the square where it's supposed to be a good serve, we ready for it. That's tennis players. That's how we think, and that's how we prepare. And this is what you have to do. You know that karate guy. He's walking down the street thinking about what the fuck would he do if somebody came surprising him from this corner or from this house or whatever. He's thinking of what he learned so that this is making him better. This is what I'm talking about. You're doing without realizing, and that's the best way. But you got to remember, I told you this is not just about catching women. This is not just about women. This is about using what you know as far as being you, influencing your particular opinion on whoever you're dealing with. You can do that now because you know how. I told you dealing with women, that's why I focus on it. That's the hardest thing for the individual man to do. Be one on one real with a woman. That's very difficult. But once you learn that, and once you realize how easy it is to do that, you can transfer that information to talking to the next employer. I mean, the person you finna contract to do some fucking work for, you'll know how to do all that. And you seeing it, it's coming. And I'm telling you, what you're doing is proving my course is really dynamic. Not that you was fucked up, but just not getting to the next level is fucked up. And you weren't getting to that next level now. You're not only getting there, you're planning ahead past that level. That's dope, Arthur. the thing about it is it is, dope the way he put it. But what's dope is that you got what he was saying the way he meant it to be gotten. That's how sharp you are, man. You don't look at stuff like that because that stuff doesn't really matter because you haven't actually been on top of it. But now you need to start being on top of how sharp you are, how much you are on point. Hey, man, let me get this call. Let me get this call. Right. Okay. Man, what the fuck? Okay, let's the thing is, you don't need these guys that be telling you everything but how to catch a woman because they don't really know how to catch a woman. Uh, they don't really tell you how to catch a woman because they don't know how. They tell you things about fucking. They tell you things about different shit that is going to appeal to your ego. Whereas all of this appeals to your ego if you handle the first part of it, which is being a man, demanding your way. You guys will go any way, period. It doesn't matter your way, her way, the next bitch way, some other motherfucker's way, some person you don't even know going their fucking way. You gonna do everything but go your way. But how the fuck can you have any motherfucker if you don't have your way determined? If your way is not a tool for somebody to use, then your way ain't shit. So what is a tool? A tool is something, that you can use to assist you in achieving your endeavors. Now, what you get in my tools are ideas and templates for real conversations that'll work for you. Of course, you got to change the words up to fit the situation you're in. You cannot exactly say what I said in that particular tool. I mean, if you get in an identical situation, maybe you can, but that's not where I'm coming from. It's not about that to me. So, what I'm saying is, my tools are templates for real conversations that will work for you. You know what's more? They tell you the five W's: who, what, when, where, and why. It tells you those things as far as why, what the fuck you're listening to will work, who it'll work with, what position you putting yourself in when you do it, when you do it, as far as where you at, where I'm saying there's so much involved in this that all you got to do is understand the basics and you'll be okay. Now, it's something totally different to understand the different reasons why what you're doing will work. To hear something about how to catch, is one thing, but to be able to see the reasoning in action and to be able to understand the W's, who, what, when, where, and why, of what's going on, that's going to result in your fantasies becoming true. They're not going to be fantasies. Now, this is what you get when you motherfucking, fuck with me. You got to understand this, though. There is no detox center for your ass if you stop fucking with it. You're gonna be hooked. You're gonna have withdrawals. There is no detox center. My confidence course is helping me right now as I continue traveling on this fucking journey that I had no idea I'd be, traveling at this point in my life. I really believed. Caller, what's up? Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, bro. Where you at? You in South America? Hey, bro. Listen, let me tell you about that. Get it down in the language of your native language. Get it down in that language, and once you do that, you'll be able to translate it to whatever language or whatever wherever you at. You'll be able to translate it. You just need to understand what is really fucking going on, and what's going on is you having this knowledge. See, that's why what I say will work for a dude wherever he's at. It doesn't matter where he's at. What I'm saying is wherever he's at, as long as there's women there, this shit will work. And it's all about you getting whatever I'm saying in English, get it to where you really understand it, and then that way you can put it down, bro. What's that? You asking me as far as regards to the game is, do I know why? Do I have a reason why I think it's going? It's hold on. Let me tell my name. I got well, the reason it is because dudes ain't being real. They're not standing up to what's supposed to be stood up to. To me, the foundation is weakened. Everybody is pretending. So who do the women, if that's the case, have to fuck with that's really about whatever they're pretending to be? My point is their women are running into so many fraudulent dudes that it's changing, the way shit go. Because women, deciding, to be gay or whatever the fuck, or they deciding to be bisexual, they deciding to do anything but depend on dudes. Why? Because dudes can't stand it no more. They're too feminine. They're fucking want to be empathetic instead of sympathetic. Do you know the difference between those two words? Yeah, let me tell you, sympathy means you care because you understand whatever the fuck is going on. Empathy means you put yourself in that person's shoes. So whatever's going on with that person, if you got empathy, you actually feel it because you put yourself in their shoes. What's wrong with that is that you as a man supposed to care, but you ain't supposed to know. You don't supposed to know shit. You supposed to go ahead. No, that's real because you don't supposed to do that. And fucking dudes do that today. A lot of dudes do that today. They completely understand where the woman coming from because they are in the woman's shoes. Good shit, bro. Thank you. All right. Now, where we at in what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from, is that I'm going to continue traveling on this journey that I'm on. I'm not going to be afraid to face the things that I'm facing. Because let me tell you something, this last thing that I faced, which was moving, I didn't panic, but I had, mentally start thinking about the worst. But none of that shit happened. Why? Because what I had put in place, as far as my daughter looking out for me, it wasn't about money. It was about me not knowing what to do. And she did. And she took over. And within a week, 1 week, I was okayed and ready to move in. And she did that for me. And what I'm saying is, if I hadn't been the way I was with her, she may not have felt like she should do that for me. I'm not saying that's the case, but all I'm saying is I look out for the future by being right today. That's the way it is. Now, if I didn't understand that the journey continues a long time after you think you have arrived, I wouldn't have been ready for this. Now, what do I tell you? ABPs, and that means always be playing, and you're going to be ready. Because if you always playing, you're not easily played. I face my fears of failing, in this venture that I'm on. I face it, with all I have. And I fucking, wasn't giving up shit. I experience fear a lot of times during any month. It's not like nothing, frightens me or whatever. But my course have prepared me to critically think about shit. And anything I involve myself in, I'm going to critically think about it. And I'm realizing that the initial anxiety that a person experiences is only natural because of how important things are to your fucking future. You know what that knowledge does for me? It makes me know I will be my usual fly self on any stage and handle whatever audience like a seasoned veteran should. Because my whole life has been important to my future. That's what you don't understand. I've been knowing this shit is important to my future. The first few lessons at SWU are like elementary school, and you learn all the basics. It's all up to how fast or slow you want to go, because you do this at your own pace. That's why I got it like I got it, to where you can do it at your pace. The next lessons is like junior high school, where you learn where and how to use what you learned. You learn whatever in the first lessons. These lessons will show you what to do with what the fuck you learned. In the last few lessons, show you how to own what you learned. And you do that by taking your ass out and showing the world what you learned. I just think it would be a great thing if people like us, were able to start in elementary school. Again, with all the knowledge you've gained about education, don't you think you could really be effective in telling some youngsters about this life? See, that's what you do at SWU. None of the history or math problems that you used to learning, that's not in the curriculum. We start over, a rebirth of you. And you better jump on this, you know, or I'm telling you, you won't get the do-over life is giving you. You're getting a do-over. The one-on-ones, those consultations are like after school programs, you know, where you get tutored and you get tutored in the understanding of the course. But my point is, you have all these things available to you for your understanding. I don't know what all, you know, should be included, but I do know it's going to be your time to express any of your goddamn opinions. And you got to understand, as I do, shit be happening, not just to me, but to you too. And I was talking to this dude about my plans, and I had been talking for 10, 15 minutes. And when he looked, I guess he thought he could or had the time or whatever, and he interrupted me. And he said, "You're a selfish, fully a self-conceited bastard, Rosebud." So I looked at him as I reached for the box of Kleenexes and handed, you know, the box to him. I said, "Wipe your goddamn glasses off so you can see." I thought you could see that shit when we started talking. I didn't get mad at that fool. He gave me a compliment because I know most people misunderstand me. Because I know at one time all I screamed was pimp this, pimp that. You know, and I'm hard or I'm tough or whatever. But that's because life makes you, you know, that way. And that's who the fuck I was, or I am. I couldn't very well scream out to you about being a welder. I mean, I don't know what burn is best for fucking aluminum. I don't know what shit you use, you know, to distinguish, you know, welding. That would be like a football player trying to tell you how to motherfucking do a crossover move. Do you think a basketball player could tell you how to withstand a hit that a middle linebacker is going to put on your ass? They're all athletes, but I'm just saying, you just can't mix it up. You know, I know the ins and outs of what I do, and that's what I talk about. That's what I profess. But I don't know every goddamn thing. But being in the game, period, you're gonna learn about all kind of shit. You know, you're gonna learn about all kind of moves to make. You know, so for the record, I respect each and every aspect of the fucking dabba. But I pimp for mine. Now, I'm using the skills as an instructor to lace my students with the fucking knowledge that I learned about women while I was pimping. You know, I'm just saying, I'm setting and achieving goals. I'm getting them to set and achieve their goals. And most of all, I'm, you know, showing them how to hold and engage a person in conversation. This has been a long growth period for me, although it's the third. It's the third one in my life. During my second growth period, I grew to understand helping people. And way back then, I've been, you know, wanting to help my neighbors, my black neighbors especially. But, you know, I go fair with whoever my neighbor is, no race distinction involved. But if I win this coming year, I'm gonna look into that center I've been, thinking about. I may even get a home base with, Sidewalk University and have part of it as a community center. It's all ideas now, but I'm gonna go hard on it because I know SWU is too valuable to leave it where it is now. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. My mother used to always say that. You know what I'm saying? She would see us and ask us what we was thinking about. And whenever nothing, caller, what's up? Hey man, what you up to? What? A woman walked up to you? The thing is, man, what you guys do not understand is that there is not enough phone booths. You guys need a phone booth so that you can, whenever you see something that you should move on, you need to get in the phone booth and change into Superman so you can do that shit. You gotta understand if you ain't already in Superman's outfit, you can't do it because you're gonna miss it like you did. If you see something and don't move on it, what you don't understand is the fact that you've seen it is telling you to move on it. But since you're not moving on it, you reinforcing the fact that you're scared to talk to bitches. And that's what's going on with you. You can tell me it's not if you want to, but from what you described, I don't need to be with you to know who the fuck you are. You scared to talk to bitches, right or wrong. That you scared to talk to bitches. Yeah, whatever you stop, man. Can you stop? I don't want to hear your bullshit. If you want to tell yourself whatever bullshit you trying to tell me, go ahead. But I'm not listening to that goddamn shit because you seen the bitch give you some kind of eye contact, and that was your action, and you did not move on it. That's why you talking whatever shit you talking now because you was scared that you was scared to move on it, bro. Period. So you got to be real, man. You can't get help if you ain't being real, regardless of what fucking shit you say. Whatever you thinking the worst, you were scared to see whatever the worst was. So I don't care what you say, how you try to, make some sort of analogy. It's all bullshit because it's based on the fear of you speaking to the bitch based on you getting some action. You know why pimp niggas be the kind of niggas they are? Because they ain't scared of that shit. They niggas like real pimp niggas, they see that and they see that as action. Girl, I seen you cut your eye at me. Once you follow what you're looking at. You know it's too much to say in that instance. So first and foremost, you gotta accept you scared to talk to bitches, right? So then, why do you think you're scared? Because you don't know what the fuck to say. Do you think you knew how to drive before you got in the car and started driving? You had to drive, right? So what I'm saying is, you got to open your mouth and say some shit that you think is whatever's supposed to be said. And if that bitch accepted, you mark it down, and you not celebrate, but you understand that that shit is kind of cool, and you can open with that shit the next time you talk to a bitch. Because what I'm saying is, it ain't about this particular broad. It's about women. So this particular broad may or may not go for what you're saying, but what you doing, women gonna go for it, and a particular one is gonna like it. And when you run into her, and you ain't gonna have to fake or start fronting, to keep her fucking with you. She gonna like what she's seeing, and that was you being you. I don't know if you know this, bro, but women like dudes who don't have a hard time being themselves. So I'm saying, bro, are you having a hard time? Well, you being real, bro. That's what's up. You got anything else? All right, brother, be cool. See, the thing about me is, I'm really goal oriented. A person should always be thinking about ways to self improve. Now, I'm in a perpetual state of thought. And I'm telling you, my friends, being in a perpetual state of thought is tiring. I don't think, so much because of my mother's words telling me idle mind is the devil's workshop. But I remember that a lot of times when I'm not thinking about shit, when I'm not doing nothing. And I do know keeping my mind occupied does, seem to keep me out of the motherfucking way. So when it comes to, my me time, which, is a time when I try not to think about SWU or, you know, none of the shit I need to do. But when it comes to that time, guess what? I don't really have to get that much fucking me time because it's damn near impossible for me to stop thinking about what the fuck I need to do. I'm always thinking about something and I still be coming up short. Most would say, ain't that a bitch? You know what I think? No, it's not a bitch. It's life. And I'm living it. I'm living my life my way with all the ups and downs that it has to offer. And I'm living this way until they throw the last shovel of dirt on my black ass. Because I started, you know, back dealing with Facebook the other day. My absence was missed, but I'm just saying I want to start over on rebuilding myself, not rebranding myself, but rebuilding some shit that I think has kind of slacked. And I'm gonna be more of Professor Dixon's persona than Rosebud's. So lately I'm thinking so differently. And I'm sure that I won't have the time, nor do I even want to engage in the shit that I was doing on Facebook before. It did help me learn how to apply my wares as far as making internet business. And I've learned, when you step off into any part of this abracadabra, you better be down. If you are, when you're done, you'll have earned your crown. It's an ongoing battle, and the accolades are many. Though when it's all said and done, you should have plenty. How do you think you're going to feel? Especially if you call yourself being real. There are people I know who didn't motherfucking make the right turns in the game. And they remember this abba with malice. Just as I know, pimps and hoes who made all the right turns and simply treasure the memories that this game left them. I think it's fair to say that memories are far, a long way off for most of you guys. You probably ain't thinking about memories. I know I wasn't when I was, young and fly. I was trying to make memories. But I wasn't thinking about, oh, god damn, what the fuck is going on there? Okay. All right. So, the, all right, there we go. Okay, like I said, for most of you guys, memories are far way off. But just remember this. This is important. You're all going to have memories one day. And those memories are going to help you live the rest of your life. And hopefully help you age with grace and dignity. But if you wasn't down, you might be like many, many, many motherfuckers that I know, pimps and hoes, who are mad at the world because their life, like life itself, is no joke. That's really why you should dream and dream big. If you don't simply dream and stop, but you try to achieve those dreams, they become goals. And one of my goals was to become great in the arena where most participants failed, to do so. Now, this doesn't make me better than you or anyone else. I don't even want to be better than anybody else. I just want to be looked upon as a person with an extreme amount of tenacity. I want to be remembered as a motherfucker who chased his vision, caught it, and did hella shit for men with it. All right, fellas. We had calls. I know you guys on YouTube couldn't hear the callers. And I am getting new shit, but it's not going to come until October. I did that because I didn't want to have anything to do with my last number because it was fucked up. I wanted to start fresh. And they told me I could, so that's what I did. I'm out.